everybody. Welcome to another episode of Relative Pitch. Before we just get started, I want to cuss. I'm gonna be real honest with y'all. I'm mad. I'm upset. I'm just, I want to. This last week, and mind you, I spent the majority of my week in sunshine. But I want to cuss after this past week. But anyways, how has y'all been? Y'all been good? Y'all been doing?
Child, I just started spring break, so y'all got a week in front of me, but it's okay. I'm chilling now. I'm in the sunny state of Georgia, even though it kind of almost snowed the other day. So, but it's still
sunny
cold.
State in Georgia.
It's sunny sometimes, but I'm here chilling, happy to be home, vibing. But yeah, there have been some things also this past week that has started grinding my gears, you know? So, Anthony, what's up with you? What's happening?
I was on spring break as well. And now tomorrow I go back to my 9 to 5. So we just getting ready for that. It's all right. It's all right. This weekend's been filled with great things, some not so great things. But it's overall, I'm so happy. But I do something that has kind of come up over the weekend. I've had many conversations about it. Is I really feel like older generations really try to either halt or just stop us younger people from doing things of our dreams at our young age. In which my parents were actually the total opposite of that. Like my parents always told me, like, do everything while you're young. You're Black. That's number one. Like, you're Black.
You're never gonna have a head start. You're never gonna have a head start.
Never gonna have a head start. So, and you're never gonna be treated equally. That's just the moral of the story. You're just not going to be. So do everything in your power to do it while you're young, because nobody's gonna take an older Black person to do this job. That's an ugly truth, but it is the truth. So do everything while you're young. So as a musician, take those auditions, go perform at these different places, take these jobs, go present at conferences while you're young, build your resume while you're young. And I feel like a lot of people in our field that is older than us, who maybe not share our melanin in our skin, are usually the ones to be like, I think you need to wait. I think you need to, hold on. Why are you trying to go so fast? Why are you rushing? And it's not, I'm not rushing. I'm not taking your road to what you qualify as success.
And what I have to say, like you exactly just said it right. Like usually for me, it's always been professors who, like you said, were not Black. And so the idea of like you not even sharing my perspective and understanding like really that the nuances of being a Black person in America, or just the truth, not nuances, the truths of being Black in America and Black anywhere, really, like we don't have time. We were born and we were 15 paces behind you. So you telling me that I have time and I should wait, it's obvious you don't understand. Like, no, I don't have time, because by the time I hit a certain age where you could have started your career, you would have been at the same place as me, and I had to work to get there. That's the difference. So I don't have time to wait.
And also, like, another thing is sometimes these professors don't listen to your story.
They don't want to.
I don't know how many times I have said, well, I want to do this. I want to do this. This is how I want to do it. You're going too fast. You need to calm down. First of all, ain't no person is going to be over my journey and my story, because it is my journey and my story. So you have no control over that. If you don't take your time with me, guess what? I'm gonna find somebody who will.
Bye.
That's that.
Bye. Another thing that I've been thinking about, freshly shaven, my head has more operating room. Gets less hot, so we can keep going. is like, why is the older generation scared? Are you scared that the minute we get these terminal degrees, that, by the way, many people say, oh, there's too many doctorates. Stop handing them out. Ooh. Stop it. If you think there's too many, stop it. You know why? Because you're the one handing them the most out. You hand out 5 doctorates one year, the next summer you're like, oh, there's too many doctorates. What? Who just put 5 out there? You? Anyways, they're scared because the minute we get that terminal degree, we on the same playing field.
Oh, yeah.
And also, these people who get these jobs become lazy sometimes. Like, if there's obvious problems with your school, why are you clocking in and out? How about you help? Like, why aren't you helping? If there's an obvious lack in studios, like studio size, okay, you play a similar instrument. Go recruit for them. It doesn't hurt you. Trust me, you come in at 10 o'clock, boo-boo. You leave at 5. There's bands rehearsing. Them seeing you. You ain't even got to play. You can just show up and be like, hey, let's work together. Let's do this. Like, just be there. Send in your students to go hang out because your students will go do it. Some of these professors are lazy. And the minute we get the terminal degree and we are trying to do more, they're going to be like, that's why they're scared. That's why
the biggest thing is, and this is something, I mean, we're talking about like ageism, right? And usually people talk about ageism in the way that they're saying, oh, they're kicking out the older people and everything. But it's like, that's actually not the situation. What we're seeing now are there younger and younger people who want to go into fields earlier in their age, you know, especially the activism fields and humanitarian fields. Like, there are a lot of students who start doing that from a very young age, which is an amazing thing. But then, yeah, whenever they want to continue growing, it's like, oh, take time. Like, you have time. Like, don't rush into it. It's like, I'm first of all, it's not rushing for me. That's the difference. I'm getting into this naturally, and I am supposed to be here. That's the difference. Is I feel as if this is where my path is. So maybe yours was different, and maybe however many years ago you should have taken a break and you shouldn't have gone to get your doctorate. But guess what? We're not the same. We're not the same.
Stop putting your narrative on me, because
or your mistakes.
Projecting.
Yeah.
Projecting.
Or your mistakes or your regrets. Another thing, why are we gonna pause when gas prices are $4.30? How am I gonna work? I need money. These are expensive. Like, another thing, and this one Lauren just talked about. Ageism is also happening the opposite way. And that is encouraging the young people to get into the field. We see people who are like, my grandfather's work. He noticed a trend. He noticed everybody who was above the age of 66 was slowly getting picked off. To me, that means I need to get in here early. I need to get in this field so I have retirement. Because I got plans for retirement. I want to retire. I don't want to work till my bones fall off. Like, that ain't for me. So that it's like a reaction thing. We see that happening. We want to get in earlier, and they're like, "Oh no!" Oh.
Yeah, like what are you gatekeeping? That's really what this is. You're gatekeeping, and what for? Because and especially like our field, music, don't we really we have this we prophesize really spreading the joy of music. So why are you gatekeeping? Why are you gatekeeping?
Spreading the joy of music isn't real anymore.
And I've heard this personally, where some people have been like, you're only so young. Why are you presenting at conferences already?
Why are you not?
Truly, why are you not? Are you upset? But also, like, some people who would look at our age and they would say, do you have enough experience to be talking at this age? Hell yes, I do. Because unlike you, I have experiences at this young age. And so far, they have not been the best experience. Because of the conversation we're having now, this is not a good experience. So the fact that I am speaking about this right now, that is all the things that you need to know.
Another thing I hear a lot, okay, you're so young, you're presenting at conferences. Why? What do you have to say? Maybe I have a little bit to say. I also have stuff to learn because everybody still has things to learn. That shouldn't inhibit you from doing something you want to. We learn through performances. You want people to stop giving performances until they're perfect? Like, you can present on things whenever you want to. If you feel like you have even one unique thing, but also just bringing something to the forefront. Like, there's probably many a trumpet master classes or something done at Midwest or every state conference. But maybe yours is what really breaks through to some of these band directors. And that's why they needed to be happening. Like, just because you're not the end all be all, or have one thing, like you're this kind of guy or this kind of guy, doesn't mean you can't present. Also, don't take away from anybody's thing. They got selected to be selected. That was their thing. They got it. You might disagree with it, like, because you think you know more, or you think they're not fully knowledgeable yet, but that ain't your life. That ain't your track.
How about this? If you feel as though you know more, then how about you damn present?
Boom. Actually, let me take that back, because I don't want some of these people presenting on subject matters that they really shouldn't be presenting on. Because we've seen it.
They think they know more.
I'm gonna go back to that GMA presentation, how to teach Black students as a white woman.
In a magnet school? Is it a magnet school?
Hello, I think it was.
It was a magnet school. It was a private magnet school, high school. And she felt as though she had enough experience to, first of all, have a title, how to teach Black students from a white perspective.
How did that slip through?
They thought it probably sounded so edgy and like, ooh, or this is something a lot of these women can relate to at this thing. And like, I don't.
Let me just tell you right now. First of all, you presenting this and you being okay, you obviously ain't got no Black friends. Or you don't run about no Black person, because let me just
or you ain't got no friends in general. You ain't got no
people I talked to, we was ready to go up in there like the Panthers, be in back of that place, because no way that title should have read that. But also, what is giving you the authority to do something like this? Why not give this to a person of color?
Invite them to the table.
Invite them so that they can give you, because obviously you are the one that's still learning about how to teach Black students, because what in the world would make you want to give this session?
And speaking of this reminds me exactly what we were talking about before we got the camera rolling. I don't know why every time there's a big situation that involves racial tension and racial nuances, that there's always a white woman who wants to tell her perspective of things. I don't know if y'all have been seeing all the controversy surrounding this new Emmitt Till opera. It's actually an opera called Emmitt Till, a new American opera, and it's going to premiere at John Jay College, apparently. It is produced in association with Opera Noir International and Harlem Chamber Players and everything. So, the first thing I want to point out is that this opera was conceived by a white playwright and librettist, Claire Koss. Okay? This opera is written by a white woman. Okay? That's number one. Number two is that the opera is approached through, I'll read exactly what it is saying from playbill.com. In the opera, the story is approached through the lens of Roanne Taylor, a young white woman who teaches high school science in Drew, Mississippi. Roanne is against Jim Crow laws, of course, segregation and the racial inequality that she sees around her, but remains silent. She is the opera's only fictional character and represents what Martin Luther King Jr. called the ultimate tragedy, the silence of the good people. Absolutely not. You have lost your mind.
My thing is, wasn't it the false testimony of a white woman that started the whole Emmitt Till? Like, that's my thing. You are like, okay, yeah. First of all, it's already wrong. Like, if you had the idea, go to everybody else who deserves this and give it to them. Be like, you know what? I don't even care if you put me on the little credits or anything. I think you should write this because this should be told. That, way better. More respect. I will respect you immensely. Next thing, you are bringing up so much trauma and emotional damage because it was a white woman who started the whole tragic story of Emmitt Till. I became aware of that story, that sad, tragic story in college, actually. And it took me that long to hear about this. And the minute I heard about it, I was like, yeah, our country's kind of screwed up.
Also, for anybody that doesn't know, the white woman who falsely accused Emmett Till, she's still living. And in fact, she was basically in witness protection program, um, placed in there by her family. Her family knows where she is. She's in some unmarked place in some part of the country because she's still alive. And it came out maybe 10 years ago that she lied. She made everything up and caused a young Black boy to be mutilated, to be killed. I mean, you couldn't, if you've never seen the pictures of Emmitt Till, of how bad they mutilated his body, couldn't even really recognize that that was him. Go look that up because it's jarring. It is jarring. And if this white woman wanted to tell a damn story, she should have told a damn story of how she, as the white woman, whoever the white character is, should have been that damn lady and should be in jail. If you want to tell a story, that's the story you should have told. Not you trying to save a bit. The big word almost came out.
That is exactly what someone said. They were like, if we're going to actually tell this story through a white woman's perspective, why not the white woman's perspective who actually got him killed?
Correct.
Who lied and got him killed? Right. Because that's the story. That's the only relevant story to this. I don't want to hear about a made-up white woman.
You don't need no fiction.
Who was looking
real?
Of course. Did you, when you read that, who hates Jim Crow laws? Of course. What?
Like, I literally was like...
Okay, they didn't got no friends, but also, just like, and then for people who like not new to the story, if this is your first time hearing the story, awful. Imagine being taken out of your home in the middle of the night, and none of your family could help because they would also be killed. And then his mother, immense respect to his mother. Because she insisted on an open casket. If you go look at those pictures, imagine back then at that time with an open casket. She knew what she was doing.
And there's a interview with his mother who she was like, no, I wanted them to see it. I wanted to be like, and if they wanted to look away, I was saying, no. You look at that, and you look at what this hatred, this evil is doing to young men and women. It doesn't even matter. Like, it should not matter what anyone looks like. The fact that they did this, and she knew it was like, and for the woman to come out and just say, how many people, how many murders have there been? How many unjust arrests? These things because someone opened their mouth and decided to lie.
What were y'all doing when you were freshmen of high school? Did you have a care in the world? You were just like living high school.
You mean you were adjusting to the new environment?
My experience is different from y'all's because I know y'all's parents y'all had some talks and stuff. But like I remember I was a carefree little marching band little nerd. Like enjoying like freshman year of high school, and y'all probably had very, very different experiences, but that was that age. That is 14 years old. Your freshman year of high school.
I also feel as though wrong timing as well, along with everything else we've said, because I just saw a news article like literally 2 days ago where it was just like the Emmitt Till family, the ones our age, want justice. They want to bring this white woman to justice.
They should.
For now, since 1955 until now, it's been it's everybody's been cool, or I'm not gonna say everybody was cool with it, but it's been okay that this lady is somewhere in some part of the country. Yes, she might be 88, whatever. Don't give a damn, because guess what? She still did what she did back then, and she still got off scot-free. She got a young Black boy killed off of a lie. She needs to be brought to justice. I don't care if she's 96. I don't care if she's 106. She needs to be brought to justice.
She's 87. You can go in prison. Bye.
Go to prison. Live the rest of your time on this side of the earth in jail.
How
And
could
when you die, live the rest of your external whatever life in jail as well, because you know what, you did something dirty, something wrong, and something
Foul.
came and got you. I don't know what type
Foul.
of hell she's living right now. I don't know if karma has
It's
got
not
her.
enough. It's not
It's not
enough.
enough. It's not enough for me, and I know it's not enough for that family, because here is a man that Emmett Till, he had his whole life to go. We don't know what type of life he would have had, what type of influence that young Black boy would have had. He could have been a musician, he could have been a doctor, a lawyer, he could have been anything, but we
he
will
could have been
never
a
know.
president?
Could have been, but we don't know because of a lie a white woman told. And if this is uncomfortable for you to hear, you need to sit into it.
And you need to go read it. You need to go read the story word for word, and you need to imagine it. Like, I just can't get over it. Like, being taken from your, what was it? He was staying at a family's. It wasn't his family. It was his cousin's house. Being taken, watching your whole family watching you, because they know if they did something, all of them dead. Like, you're being stripped from your sleep to then be mutilated, brutalated, on and on and on until you're dead. Like, that just, oof.
Something, so this is really getting me back into a lot of other areas. The first area I want to hit on first is how, and you can see this in a lot of movies and TV shows being written now, there is a lot of forgiveness, and also almost like a, I don't want to say like people are interested in shows that show a lot of things about like white forgiveness. Like, so in the sense of like, there's a show on Netflix called Inventing Anna, and it's called the Anna Delvey story, and I watched all of it because it was really interesting. But when I finished it and I was really thinking about it, I was like, this white woman committed. So basically the story is about a Russian woman who like basically comes over to the US, and she reinvents herself as being a German heiress. So she's going around telling everyone, I'm a German heiress. Like, whenever I turn this age, my father's giving me like $25 million, like saying she has an inheritance, all this stuff. So she learned how to act and dress the part of a rich person. And basically the story goes through and shows like, if you act a certain way, you know how to talk to certain people, they'll just assume that you are in a certain bracket. And especially the fact that she's a young white woman and she has the certain, you know, those clothes, she's going to the fashion shows and all this stuff. She knows what to say, she knows what to do. And she basically, by acting this way, get so many places to, because you know what happens for the celebrities, they get all these free free stuff for endorsements. They get asked to like, we'll pay you this much if you wear this stuff, all this stuff. So that type of stuff started happening for her, is where she's getting all these people to invest in her because they think this woman is, when she gets her inheritance, is going to have a crap ton of money. I want a part of that. And she has all these ideas of, I want to create this new thing for this and this. Anyway, all this stuff, she gets caught at the end later on. But then the trial, it's crazy because it's like, we don't want her, we like love her for, she was an entrepreneur and she did all this, da da da. And I'm like, y'all have so much forgiveness to give out to white women who break systems, so who break laws and do all those things in the name of like aesthetics and all this thing. But when it's like a black teenager or some black kid who was doing anything, and they say like, oh well, they should have been in that situation, that's their, like, they should have known that if they were to be outside at night wearing a hoodie that they would get shot. Like, that is what really, that was a long way of saying I'm bothered, and it pisses me off that there is so much like I said, forgiveness for certain people in situations, and then in other people in other situations, like they should have known better, or that doesn't apply to them. But if I digress.
I learned this in school, public education, my education, because that's, so one story. I went to a school where my sophomore year, I got called out of class. And evidently, first, I got called out of class. I got put into a room for about 2 hours. Nobody told me what was going on. Why was I in this room? Just got pulled out of class. I was in my second period. I was in geometry. I remember the room. I remember the day. I remember everything. 2 assistant principals pulled me out, set me in a room, and that was it. 2 hours go by and I'm sitting in this room where we could not talk, we cannot do anything, we couldn't even breathe, basically. We had to be silent. The two other principals come and get me and take me out to my car, and I ask them politely, why am I, why am I here? Why am I here? And they say, well, we did some dog sniff things, and the dog sniffed your car for marijuana. Interesting. So they asked to search through my car. They searched through my car. Of course, there was nothing in there. But there were incense in my car because obviously I want my car to smell good. And they asked me, they really criminalized me of why do I have the little trees in my car? Like I'm trying to hide something. And I told them flat out in their face, I have never smoked in my life. I am a bad asthmatic. So therefore, weed or any other inhalable drug, I cannot do. Not only that, but I'm also a vocalist. That will ruin my vocal cords. So why am I here? Also, I don't see no damn dog. I don't see no police. Where is the deputy, the school deputy? Where is he? Why are you two talking to me? But then, so they go through that after feeling like a criminal. I get released back to class, like, oh, nothing happened. And my question to them was, but you see all these white boys walking around this school with dip cans in their pockets, but you got amnesia then. Like literally, country boys will come into this school with a big dip can like this in their pockets, but you don't stop them. You have an imaginary dog to stop me, to take me out of education, out of me learning, for me to, because obviously I'm a bad person, I'm the bad child, and I should have known not to have incense in my car. We can forgive the dip and all this, but I thought this was a no drug-free zone. So you learn that as a child. That is my experience, but you learn there's many, many more experiences like this. And this is what you learn. The forgiveness of white. We had white students pill popping.
And more than forgiveness, in addition to that, is innocence of white.
Innocence. And I'm sitting here like, but it took my parents to come up there and to really read y'all for filth and get y'all together before you offered me an apology. You released me back to class, not saying, oh, we're sorry for this, I don't know what happened. No. You released me still thinking you were on top of the world. But what you didn't realize is that my parents are my biggest supporters, and they're going to ride for me to the day I die. So guess what? At 7:45 in the morning, guess who was in your office? Reading your ass down. My mother was a sergeant in the military. My father was from the ghetto. Yeah, bad mix. Let me just tell you that. Just know about before the end of first period. I got, can I have Anthony Morris to the front office, please? And this principal who is really interrogating me about why I have incense in my car is now, oh, I didn't mean to make you feel this way. I really want to sincerely apologize to you. But also my thing is all 4 principals should have been in there apologizing to me, because all 4 of you got me out of class. And then, so the person who offered me an apology was the assistant principal. I want the head bitch in charge.
Ooh, the head.
Even my parents said that the head principal sent in the assistant principal to take this. I want all 4 of you. And to this day, I still have yet to get an apology. In fact, they love to tell the story. Oh yeah, Anthony, you was rough around the edges, but this school, we transformed you. No, the hell you didn't.
No, absolutely not. You did nothing.
In fact, you really inflicted trauma on me. You inflicted trauma on me. And that part of education, people don't like to talk about. That's absolutely disgusting. But we can forgive and remain others' innocence but we can't even apologize when we are wrong to a Black person or a person of color.
It's like you almost feel like it's like the whole saying of innocent until proven guilty. We don't have that. We're guilty until we prove ourselves innocent. It's the
Correct.
complete opposite of that. Like I feel like when I walk into a space, I immediately have to show something where they're like, oh, I can stop clutching my bag, you
Yes.
know?
Oh my gosh, honestly, it's code switching. It's like you when you walk into a room, okay, for me, don't be aggressive. Don't walk in so confident, because confidence come off as aggressive, and you want to make sure that they are, they're not scared of my presence. So like audition season came around. Audition season come around. When you walk into the audition room, you have to put your shoulders down, but make sure your eyebrows are not arched. Make sure you come off very soft, so you do not anger somebody.
Non-threatening is the term. Non-threatening.
It's funny because I actually saw a TikTok the other day, and it was this Black lady, and she said, I'm gonna start pulling a white woman's I'm gonna pull a white woman's MO. Anytime I'm at work and they call me in for something, just start crying. Just start crying. Because you fit into that. They're a damsel in distress.
Oh, right? Oh my gosh.
They're a damsel in distress. We're so sorry that we caused you so much pain. Start crying.
And it's almost like sometimes, like, I remember I was in the airport one time, and this story always is interesting to me because, like, me and Anthony share the fact that we are both like Black, but I'm a woman, right? I'm a female, so there are a lot of other nuances that he has gone through that I would never understand, and things that I've gone through that he would never understand. And so, like, we're in an airport and everything, or I'm in an airport, right? I'm like going to in Chicago and everything, and I'm coming down, and I'm trying to I'm looking at my phone, and I'm trying to kind of figure out like where I am. Like it was one of the first times I had been, and I think it was Midway, not O'Hare that I'm used to. So I was like looking around trying to figure out like what's going on. There are like 6 police officers at the bottom of the escalator where near where I'm going down and everything, and I get off the escalator, and I'm kind of standing there just looking at my phone again, trying to figure out where my ride is and and they start approaching me and everything. And first of all, I'm gonna say this: no matter who you are or what your organization you're with or whatever, I don't like being approached by multiple men at the same time. I don't like it. It's happened multiple times in different settings. I don't like it. Don't approach me in a group setting. It really bothers me. And so not even that, but then I immediately feel like I can't be defensive, right? So I can't be aggressive about it or anything, because again, these are police officers. So I immediately feel like the safest I can be in this situation is if I make myself the most non-threatening figure that they could possibly encounter. So I literally am because they come up to me and they're like, hi, ma'am, can we help you, or say something very basic like that. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm trying to look for my friend who he said he's out here, and they're like, oh yeah, we'll take you out there and everything. So now I'm kind of I feel the safest I could feel is if they felt like they were helping me. And I know there's a lot to unpack in that, but for me, the idea of 6 officers walking up to me at one time in an unfamiliar territory, I immediately have to be like, you are in charge. I am not in charge. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm dumb. Help me. Take me to where I need to be. And that's what they did. They took me outside. I found my ride and I left. But the fact that I felt like I had to do that because I felt unsafe. First of all, just in general, a group of men walking up on me like that, but then also the fact that they were police officers.
The point, hold on. For us, the first thing to come into our head when anything like that happens is make it out alive. I just need to make it out alive. And that's it. And that's really it. I'm sorry, Michael, but that's just.
I was gonna approach that from not even y'all's perspectives is very different. Even mine. A group of men is just scary. Let's just be very honest. A group of men who are not even completely confident about themselves. Yeah. A group of men who are decently confident about themselves just comes off very not okay. And like that's not saying men can't walk together, but you gotta really like realize people's trauma. Like especially if you walk up to a woman, any woman, you're a group of men. What do they think is gonna happen? You know what I
I'm
mean?
on edge. I'm already like on
It's
defense.
like men are just scared, especially men that you don't know who they are, because you don't like pop off. I know like when I suddenly get angry, I'm a completely different person.
Right.
And that's every man. That's every person. But really, men can go from 0 to I'm gonna kill you in literally this much. And so, like that's yeah.
It's just
Scary.
scary.
It's
It is
scary.
scary.
I mean, even for because there is a lot of trauma with. Let me say this: straight white men, or honestly, straight men in general. To be honest, if we're calling it like them, even for me, because growing up, whenever you would see like straight men in a room, I have two things. If it's straight white men, oh Lord, N words coming out, boom. Or as a gay man, you're like, oh snap, the F word's coming out, and here we go. So like then you might put them together and you're like, oh, I'm gonna be an FN, like, wait a minute. Okay, wait
Oh
a
my
minute.
god.
So I mean, so for me, I think in our little group, I'm the first one to go on defense first and let it out first. But there are times where I have to realize like, baby, you were really outnumbered. You gotta wait a minute, make it out alive first.
Right. It's
Make it out
survival.
alive first. It's really survival tactic.
Mhm.
And so back to what we were saying earlier, for the people like, why are you doing this so young? Because we have the experience. That's why we're doing this podcast, because we
Yeah.
have those experiences. Okay. Yes, or did we just graduate college 2 years ago? You're damn right. But do we have experience for years and years beyond that? Absolutely.
And we're also giving other people the platform to share their experiences with the public. Like I know, like for me, like I'm not gonna have experience like them too, but like for me, even to talk to other like fellow members of the LGBTQ community. Wow. In the South, teaching, I haven't been asked, like not asked to come back because of my lifestyle decisions. And always phrased that way, lifestyle. Also, the way I interact. So you're saying I'm too flamboyant, too energetic, and then sarcastic? Okay, you're sarcastic. You called that student a squirrel. Like you just say he looked like the squirrel from over the hedge. Like what? Who's acting brand new, baby? Like just because I do it in a very flamboyant. Like I personally, I will also say I don't like the sound of my voice, especially on a microphone. So I don't use a microphone. I'm just very loud. So I'll just do that instead. And it's very like one of my one of the second year I was working band camps. After I've been working at the school for a whole year, these students got a little brave. They got a little brave. They were like, Michael, do you have a girlfriend? Or are you into girls? I was like, hoo hoo hoo. I said, I am married to my trumpet. They said, interesting, because you dance very feminine like. And I was like, what is that supposed to mean? Are you I literally said to this boy, are you the definition of masculine? Because if you are, then this world's in trouble. And that's where that conversation ended right there. Like, but first of all, why are you going to say that?
These kids hear from their parents. That's all I'm going to say.
They do. And like, I know somebody who dresses like a hipster / emo kind of person. Like docs, darker colors all around, tight shirts and stuff. And he didn't get asked back because he dressed weird.
So bringing this to teaching, so I actually had to find this out through first of all, it was a mixed conversation with my principal. I was there, and there was like 3 other teachers, and it was after hours, but he disclosed this information. How he had meetings with parents my students' parents, because they felt they didn't want their child being taught by a gay person. Now, mind you, I have been at this school at that point for a year and a half. Never heard that story. Never heard the story. Never until that day. And like, I mean, he spoke up. He was like, why does that, why does that matter? Yada, yada. But like, I left like, that happened and I didn't know.
This is my biggest thing, because this has been starting to come out a lot with media, right? And the more and more movies and TV shows that are coming out, you're seeing a lot more, including children's or cartoon shows that people automatically assume a cartoon is a children's show, coming out with like characters who are openly gay or openly trans or openly queer, like queer, gender fluid, all those things. And the parents are going crazy. Like, they're trying to influence our children to change. I'm like, okay, so whenever your kids were watching Snow White, Beauty and the Beast, Cinderella, all those things, you weren't saying that they were pushing heterosexuality on your children. So why, and whenever your students are in classes and they have teachers, a female teacher who is married to a man, a male teacher who's married to a female, or whatever, or just in general straight teachers, you have no problem. Like, you're not thinking, oh, that male teacher, he's gonna try to influence my young girl because she is straight and he's straight, and they're like, or be just because he's straight, he's automatically gonna be going after those.
That's the biggest problem. Them coaches and the little girl.
And that is what they should be worried about. That's what they should be worried about is the fact that is happening more often than they want to consider. But then they're still worried, about a gay a teacher who, first of all, I don't even know, like, Anthony, have you been openly, like, have you just said, do they know, or are they assuming?
I assume. I never ever said it to a parent or a child.
Okay, so assuming, first of all, they're just going off of what they have thought or whatever, and it doesn't matter that you are, like, whatever, like, we know you are, but they don't know you, and so for them to be all up in your face like that, and to be like, we're gonna assume, first of all, that he's gay, and then we're gonna assume that because he's gay, he's a bad influence on my child. That's what pisses me off more than anything.
I really wish, and this would never happen, I wish you had to come out as straight. Like, can we all just start, asexual? And then go from there? You know what I mean?
Go from there.
Let's all, because when you're a baby, you ain't thinking about nothing. You're thinking about
chilling.
Like that.
Like, chilling.
It is. So, like, with these TV shows and, like, all these people are, like, talking about it, it's just like, can you just watch the damn TV?
Right. Can you enjoy something?
Just look.
Enjoy. But no, you want to make this a whole issue now. You want to make this a whole issue. And on my story, I was just like, I wish you would have told me, because I mean, I'm glad that you spoke. I'm glad that you, spoke up for me and everything. But like, these are the things that us, the people who have been in oppressed groups, we have to deal with. As educators, as people just walking in normal life, you will have people who are just like, no, I'm good. I mean, I could have just been black, and they were like,
they still would have. They still would. Like, yeah. Do you think I'm gonna change your children? You think I'm gonna be like, hey, you, third trumpet that I see once a week, I think you should be gay. You know why? Because I'm gay. Like,
but see, this is the thing. They think that because I don't know if y'all have been up on the news, but in Florida, they just passed the Don't Say Gay bill.
Oh, it passed.
For kindergarten to third grade. You cannot say gay, the word gay, between kindergarten and third grade. That's what they want. They wanted between 12.
They wanted all of it.
12, but they ended up just deciding on K. It went through the whole Senate. Went through the governor, all of it. So you cannot say gay in public education. You can't say it.
That's crazy. And it's like, I have nephews that age, like around there, a little bit like fifth grade too. And they ask me, hey, when are you gonna get a boyfriend? Because you're kind of boring.
Oh my gosh.
Like, I'm like, that's cool. They know we're chilling like that, and they're okay with that. Like there was never any question.
This
And like
generation is way more open.
They-
And that's the thing. Old white people are making these laws, and they're so far removed. You don't know what your child is talking about, what they're doing, because you have a babysitter, you have this, you have that, you send them off to school and you don't even think about them. You don't know what these kids, because guess what? They are in my class longer than they're at your home with you, because when they get home, you might still be at work. So you don't know what these children are going through. Like I had students who have come to me and was like, I want to come out to my family. Okay, do you feel comfortable doing that? No, I don't. My parents don't understand me, but I do, because I see them every single day. They know when they come to my class, it is an open space for that. So, but these are the same people who are making these laws don't say gay.
Like
what are you trying to protect? Who are you trying to protect here?
you're not protecting your children.
Yeah, you're not protecting your children. You're protecting yourself, and because you feel uncomfortable, you want to make everybody else feel uncomfortable instead of learning about something that you feel uncomfortable about. You want to make a law so I'm gonna just pretend it doesn't exist. Wrong.
And I know for other people who think time is fake, because I think time is fake, your grandparents or great grandparents, if you're that lucky, were alive when segregation was still a thing. Yeah. Like it feels supremely far away. It's not. It's still alive. Like people are still alive.
It's alive, right?
Like, and they're the ones bringing it back. They're like, let's figure out ways where we can control these kids, and I will say this in my full ignorance, they know more than me about my own stuff. They know more than me about LGBTQ rights and terminology and pronouns. I'm proud of them. They teach me, and I love that. Because I love learning from children. I love learning from every kid I teach. It's inspirational. It makes me want to teach them more. But they know more than I do, and I've been living this life for 23 years. And they've been living this life for half of that. Yeah. And it's like they know more because it's important to them. And they respect their friends. They're not going to go to somebody and be like, you want to be called they? I don't like you anymore. Bye. They'll be like, okay, they. Cool. What are some other pronouns? They start going on the Google. And they just figure stuff out.
So, funny story. And it'll be very quick because I know we're about out of time. But so in my class, I have a very diverse makeup. So I have football players, basketball players, your people who watch anime. I have them all. And so there's a student, he had just came out as gay, or actually he's been gay or whatever. And I heard him say it, I was like, oh wow, okay. And then a football and basketball player, he was like, you didn't know he was gay? And I was like, I don't assume. But now think of that 10 years ago. Would a basketball/football player been so nonchalant about that?
No, they would have been like slurry or slushies or whatever.
Yeah, they also play the same instrument, so they sit next to each other. So that wouldn't have happened. But because of this nonchalant, I was just like, oh my gosh, this is great.
I love that, and that's even an improvement from when I was in high school. When I was in high school, I was friends with the football, basketball people and stuff, but we weren't like that. I was only friends with them because of the crowd I hung out with, and it was the most popular girl group, and they didn't want to piss off their future girlfriends or current girlfriends, so they acted comfortable with it. I don't know if they really were or not, because some of their own friends said some things to me in the hallway, and I chased them down, and they ran like little baby boys.
I want to say that it's because I'm trying to think back because I don't share. That's a perspective that you guys share that I don't share. And so for me, I always try to think back to what was my first, I guess, knowledge or awareness of the LGBTQ community. And I honestly can't really pinpoint a distinct time frame. I don't even know if I necessarily where I would have had my first, whether it was through a show or through friends, probably friends just talking and things like that. And the beauty of when we talk about the differences between magnet schools, private schools, public schools, and the difference of the environments you're in when you're there. I went to a magnet school that wasn't private thankfully, so it allowed for more minorities to be a part of the school as well. So there was a huge mix of people from different backgrounds. And when I was actually, now I remember, 6th grade, there was a senior who, he was black, and I remember the first time I ever saw him walk in, he was like walking in, like shoulders moving, and he just was all, he had his girl gang around him, and he just had all these mannerisms that were very much like pointed, articulate, and I'm here. And I remember being like mesmerized, like literally I was like, who is this person? Because first of all, everyone loved and knew of him. Everyone was like, oh my gosh, do you know him? Do you know him? Like, everyone knew who this person was. He was an icon around there. Like, it was a thing where I don't think I even knew exactly, like, I didn't necessarily associate him with being gay. All I knew was this is somebody who acted in a way I've never seen before. But the fact that people were it was not understanding, no one cared. Like, that's the crazy thing, is that's what I'm trying to say, is they make it seem as if encounters with members of the LGBTQ community will immediately influence people to like want to be that way themselves and all those things. No. It was so cool, because at the end of the year, the seniors would always put on this thing called like the senior spoof, and they would dress up as different teachers and do a skit. He was the drama teacher who was this blonde, so he literally came out with a blonde wig, heels on stage, a bag, all this, and we were all like, oh yes, like go. It was so funny because it made sense. Like, of course, like I think his name was Chris. Of course, Chris is gonna play like Miss Walpert. Like, that makes so much sense. Like, because he was a drama student, that was like one of his mentors. So for me, actually, now that I think about it, I think that was the first time I ever encountered. And I learned later on that yes, he was like a part of the LGBTQ community and everything. But I was like, what I'm trying to say by this is it's not as big of a deal as y'all are making it. These parents are making it, where it's like they're going to encounter a student or a teacher who is a part of the community and it's going to influence them. No, it didn't. It just made me more aware of different perspectives, and it was cool and it was fun.
I got one quick thing to say, and I don't want to rain on this parade because that was a lovely story. They're so scared of gay teachers preying on students when their gen coaches are the ones who's actually doing it and getting away with it. That's all I'm gonna say. But y'all, this has been a truly great episode. I wanted to cuss. I mean, I kind of still want to cuss. I might cuss later. Who knows? I might have a cussing hour. But it was great, and I hope y'all enjoyed it too. If y'all ever just want to talk, like, let's talk. Let's do it.
Let's talk.
So, y'all have a great week, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.